Even if you haven't been paying close attention this morning, you may have registered the word love. It's been said several dozen times so far, and I'm about to say it a few more. Because today is a day to celebrate the installation of your new leader at Episcopal, and leaders love. The morning after Carrie invited me to preach via video, I woke and walked, thinking of her and of your community. And the words that sifted through were leaders love. A few hours later, that same morning, Carrie sent me the 1 John reading that she had selected for today, in which we hear the word love 29 times. And it was clear we were on the same page. Because leaders love. And Carrie Steakley is a leader who loves. It's true that when we think about leadership traits, we might not always first think of loving. Words like decisive, visionary, confident tend to surface in conversations about leadership. And those qualities are all good and true and necessary. Perhaps we imagine love not as a leadership trait, but as a feeling shared by a young couple or what a parent feels for her child. Valentines and family bonds. Love can sound soft, a little squishy. We say we're weak in the knees because of love. But what we learn from Scripture is that love is a strength. Love endures all things. It moves mountains. Love compels action, motivating individuals and communities to reach beyond themselves and beyond their own interests. Love is a fierce force, and good leaders love deeply. They love their people and the mission of their institutions. And they do this because they know themselves to be loved by God. And in that quiet confidence, they exude love to those whom they encounter. And when love expands and surpasses the boundaries of family and BFFs to encompass a larger community, it sometimes takes on new names. Love wears different guises when it's exercised in public spaces. Love looks like justice. Love looks like clear-eyed truth. Love looks like mercy or patience. Love looks like courage. Love looks like respect. And these are the ways that you'll see your new head of school loving and leading. Listening deeply to make just decisions. Offering mercy and patience to students and faculty and to families. You'll soon see, if you haven't already, Carrie's courage and her willingness to go the hard road for what she believes is right. You'll come to expect to be treated with dignity and honor. No matter who you are, no matter why you're sitting down with her, no matter whether you're at a boardroom table or a cafeteria table. I know y'all haven't seen her up close much yet. These are such strange days of virtual meetings and masks. But what I can tell you, as someone who's had an office a couple of doors down from hers for about 10 years, is that Carrie is a leader who loves. And she starts by loving the person who is right in front of her, the frustrated faculty member, the wayward student, the worried parent. And in love, she listens to each of them. And she looks for the kernel of their story. And together, she and that beloved person in front of her chart a way forward. Leaders love. And in an Episcopal school, that love looks like thoughtful, careful decisions with students at the forefront. It looks like listening to understand, to try to really see where the other person is coming from. It looks like offering respect and grace to everyone in the school community. At Episcopal, it looks like seeing each person as a beloved child of God, worthy of respect and belonging. That kind of love, I believe, is the very opposite of mushy. To lead with love is to lead with strength. It's tempting to say that these days are different. And while in a good number of ways, things are, well, to borrow an overused word, unprecedented. Yet my school history and our shared Episcopal heritage tells us a story. There's a story of a group of women who showed up in Memphis in the 1870s to join and to shore up a small school for girls. Those women instead guided and led a city through a pandemic. Constance and her companions, as they're known in lesser feasts and fasts, to be celebrated on the upcoming September 9th, came to teach at St. Mary's. But when yellow fever swept through the town, enough people fled or succumbed that Memphis lost its charter. It literally wasn't a city anymore, and the school could hardly be just a school. These loving leaders stayed, reinventing themselves and their mission. And in a letter from their bishop at the time, he described the women this way. He wrote, "They are quiet, brave, unshrinking daughters of the divine love." Quiet, brave, unshrinking daughters of the divine love. Nothing weak or wobbly there. Grounded in God's divine love, these leaders quietly and consistently showed up for those who needed them most. They bravely faced unforeseen challenges and adapted to new roles. And they were unshrinking. They grew larger in their courage and in their capacity to love those in their charge. They did this together. They did this inspired by the Spirit and held in the embrace of God. They were leaders who loved. This is our shared legacy. It is a legacy for all of us. For Carrie, for everyone at Episcopal, for those of us back at St. Mary's, and for all who love and serve God through the work of education and through the care of the communities they come in contact with. We come together today to celebrate the installation of Carrie Steakley as your head of school. we come together today to remember and to be inspired. We come together today because leaders love.